Hi everyone, I'm Ginny. Today we'll talk about Lee Sin deck made by Hyped. I'll tell you what's each card's purpose in this deck and show some clips of the deck in action. So let's get to it. This deck is about using followers that are low cost and buff up your deck, therefore being able to survive early game and mid game as well, and finish the game off with Lee Sin, and as well with some elusive units or some big buffed up unit. It's worth mentioning that if you get the ball rolling, you will end up with huge low cost minions, and you will even finish the game off with your elusive units depending on how the situation goes. I'll start with this champion, and then the followers, and then spells. And then at the end I'm gonna talk about the mulligan. Now Lee Sin is a very good card overall, and when the deck is built on him, he can really shine. Even though Lee Sin can be a strong 6-drop, I advise against dropping him on curve utilizing this archetype, because you could leave yourself open to counterplay. So in this deck, it's better to use him off as a finisher when possible. The next extremely important unit is Starlit Seer. You have no idea how powerful this card can be in this deck. Considering you have a lot of utility spells with low cost, a lot of the times you will end up buffing your deck a lot with this guy if you make him stick to the board. He's also important because having 2 attack and 3 health makes him very efficient to trade combined with Elixir of Iron, so keep that in mind as well. Shadow Assassin is here for obvious reasons. In this deck, if you burn your hand too fast, card draw may become a problem. Also, elusive units in general in this deck are used for 2 reasons: activating plundering effect from shared spoils and slowly bleeding your opponent down. Shadow Assassin is good for the draw, of course. Knavery Conspirator is mainly used with Omen Hawk to buff your deck, but he can also be used to get more card draws from Shadow Assassin as well as potentially heal Starlit Seer, but that's very situational. Eye of the Dragon is a card that will help you block your opponent's attacks with its summons, preferably, gain health back, and try to keep the game under control. Sometimes you will have to use spells like Deep Meditation or Shared Spoils, only to activate it on the next turn. You will have to judge the necessity of your match, if you're being pressured a lot or not. You'll have to see and decide. Claws of the Dragon is here for tempo, plain and simple. It's great to be able to use burst cards and summon a minion, so don't discard this possibility. You can win games because of that. Knavery Blade Scout was kinda tricky for me to figure out, but depending on how buffed he is, he can work as a finisher, or he can be used to activate the plunder effect from shared spoils. These are the 2 main reasons why you have this card. You can of course block with it as well, but this is less necessary. At least it was less necessary on my games. Now the spells are more obvious, so I'll go quicker over it. Wheel of Ionia, as always, very versatile card, but usually you're going to use it on expensive enemy units or key units for their turn. Use it strategically and you can win games with this card. Spirit's Refugee is good to protect units, regain health, and counts as a spell for Lee Sin, so why not, is very good. Now, Deep Meditation is a great card, and often it can save you a turn where you probably wouldn't have anything to play, but try to use it when it costs only 2 mana, meaning that you use 2 spells last turn. That's when you get the most value out of it. Sonic Wave can help you finish games with the damage buff, and help you remove problematic enemy cards as well. It's a very important card to level up Lee Sin, so keep that in mind. Shared Spoils. This is a card that in this deck is so very good. It's here to buff, the buff quality of course, and for the drawing as well. The draw part is very important, so try to always make use of that, since you can run out of cards pretty fast. If you don't, use your draw mechanics available to this deck, you can be in trouble, so keep that in mind. Retreat can save your units, make you regain their effects, for example like the buff from Omen Hawk or the card draw from Shadow Assassin, but it's a very important card to level up Lee Sin as well, so I advise you not taking it out of the deck, not switching it for anything else, because as Sonic Wave, this is a very important card to level Lee Sin up as well. Now to finish off the video, mulligan. What I found to be most effective is to mulligan pretty much everything. Of course you will have to judge if there is a key card on each matchup, but mulligan pretty much everything until you get Omen Hawk or Starlit, because these two cards are the very best cards that you can have early on. So for example, having Starlit and Elixir of Iron is extremely good early on. Some people in some decks find Eye of the Dragon very useful to keep, but with this deck it isn't effective in my opinion, because at the start of the game you won't have enough mana to use two spells effectively to make use of her effect, and if you probably do that, you are most likely wasting two spells and burning your hand too fast. So I advise against keeping Eye of the Dragon. Usually it's not a good idea. And that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you liked the video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment so I know what you're thinking, and thank you for watching. See ya!